If you know of a friend of anybody that needs help with car stuff, I'm your man, so hit me up. All right, so today's episode, we're picking up a G37 from a friend of mine from Instagram, and we're gonna get him right too. So stay tuned, guys, stay tuned. All right, I just loaded up the G. We didn't need a crane, so we brought that for no reason. But we're gonna get the engines in the back here and take this thing apart. All right, so we disconnected the trailer from the truck so we can get these engines in, and we're gonna put them in because this engine's destroyed. But we gotta take it apart to get the torque converter off, so let's get it. You wanna tell your name and follow you on Instagram and shit?
My name's Brendan. Instagram is MTERGO.
There you go, guys. Follow him on Instagram. He's building his car, helping him out. That's all we're here for. Let's get it. All right, we have loaded both engines, and now we're going to be loading the transmission. So, let's get it. All right, my dad helped us today. Estaba aquí trabajando fuerte un día a la semana. Un día al año. A esta hora ya un día al año. Pero tenemos los carros arriba. We have the car on top, the transmission. Nigga cold. Got the motors tied up, radiator, steering rack, and all that. So let's get it, guys. Let's get it. All right, we got to the house now safely, thank God. That's 15 out here. Oh yeah. Now we're gonna unload her, put her in the lift, and get the engines out. Let's get it. All right, let's get this thing in here. All right, I got the trans in here, the rack. Now we're unloading the engines. Let's get it. All right, so everything, I took out everything from the car. Inside the car, everything was in there, all that stuff. He had no front seat. Shoved everything in there, bumper, everything, exhaust. I already see a few things we might need to order, so let's get it. We'll figure it out tomorrow. I'm tired, going to bed. See you tomorrow, guys. Welcome back, guys. That is all the parts that we got to fit into this chassis. This motor actually is pretty bad. You guys saw in that video, it's got a hole in the block, but we got to take it apart to get the torque converter off to get it to spin, because the bolts are all holding it. That's the only way, which, yep, that's the only way. So let's get it. First, I'm gonna take off the harness off the car, get that out the way, to see what we're working with the harness part. So let's get it. So when you take this engine out, you always wanna take the harness out with it. It's easier, save you lots of time. And all you gotta do is go through here. But this guy has a whole bunch of wires running there, so. But yeah, this thing just comes off under here, like this. Not like that, but these clips, actually, you have to put a screwdriver in here and push down on each side and then take it out slowly. You don't want to pry on anything. If you hit this with anything, you're screwed. You're gonna need a new windshield. It should start like cracking the whole thing. But now we're gonna remove this wiring harness from here and see how we can get this out. We gotta cut all this out and stuff. So let's get done that. And then we're gonna go inside the car underneath and disconnect the the two, three, some type of connectors. I think there's 3 in there. So let's get it. All right, so we got the harness out. So the inside has 3, like I said, but you have to remove 4 plugs out of the. So 3 plugs go into the ECU, but you have to remove the first one to get to the other 2. Does that make sense? And then this one hooks up to the side. It's a clip that goes up this way. So all you gotta do is unlock it from the bottom, push it up, and it'll push this out. So that's the way to get that one out. This one, the part that goes up here, I had to take it off this way since we're not gonna use this harness, because we had a whole bunch of wires here that are for the, and they're all the same color. I'm not trying to mix up with nothing like that. So I cut it out to show you guys how this is set up. So you have two little circles outside. So that's telling you where the spots are for this one and this one. And then you have to just like get a screwdriver and then push in here, push that in, and then pop it from one side and then the other side. This case, this was broken, just like I guess all these ones are broken too. This one's broken there, but the other side's good. So that's, you know, if you get lucky, yours is broken, you only gotta get one side. So that's how you do that. Now I'm gonna continue checking the car over and seeing what I can find. Let's get it. All right, next we're going to be trying to take it, try to take that off the flywheel, off the, or not the flywheel, the torque converter off the flywheel. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna flip the engine and try to disassemble the bottom end to get it out. So let's get it. Damn, but yeah, this rod, oh, piston, everything. I don't think the piston's still in there, but the rod really bent. This scar right here. And I'm gonna try to take off all these, the bottom, the secondary oil pan of this engine to try to, you know, get this off. Alright, I just ran into another freaking issue with the power steering pump. Took it off the car because I was going to put all the belts on here while it's on here. Doesn't line up onto that top piece. I really don't know why. This was supposed to be on the car. I tried it on that engine over there too, and it didn't work. I tried different mounts for this piece. I even had an extra one from Andres' car. Tried it out and it didn't work. It probably needs this bracket here. I don't know. That's the only thing that's not lining up. And I tried loosening the bolts so it can be loose and I can get it in there, but it just doesn't go in. So, all right. So they cut this harness, and this harness wasn't supposed to be cut, dude. I think we have it over here. This is crazy. But it's a pain in the butt to get these things out. It's this harness that we got here. All right, guys, so as you can see, I've started installing all this stuff. This power steering pump is giving me a hard time. It doesn't line up for some reason. Never ran into that before. Put the wiring harness on, the AC compressor. We might be getting another one from Andres' car, because the one that came looks like it fits on this one. And it's newer, so let's get it. Also, the harness is on. I put the coils. I dressed it up with some bolts that I found. I started taking off all the hoses. And next, we're gonna just put those throttle bodies on and torque them down. You know, let's get it. All right. So when you put these on, you put this towards the intake. And it comes with bolts and stuff, so this goes towards the intake like that, and then you use the OEM gasket. All right, so throttle bodies are on. Everything fits. I didn't really have to use that harness right there. It came with a harness, but I ran the wires just like that. You know, the coolant lines, how they were. But yeah, everything's good. Torqued them to 10 newton-meters. And then that's it. So now I'm gonna continue, put this thing together. I think up next we're gonna be installing like the rest of the hoses and stuff, and then tightening up stuff and finishing up, dressing up the front covers here, and just keep going, guys. We gotta, we still have to put this harness in here. So I think this one goes like this, boom. No, it goes like this, boom. Yep, let's get it. All right, so I'm gonna test fit these headers, and I'm having a problem. Show you guys. So when I try to line it up, it only lines up on those, and not on these. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna swap this one to that hole and this one to this hole to make this fit. I hope these are the right headers for this car. This one I already mocked up, so that's why I'm telling you guys about this, because these ISR headers, the box said it came for it was for a VQ37. So I don't know, we'll figure it out. All right, so it worked like I said, because I already did it on this side. I just let it hang there just so it can take the picture, because I still have to wrap them. But so I just switched them out, as you can see. The other one stayed like that. And this guy said he never ran O2 sensors. His car never ran O2 sensors, he said. So I told him he needs them. Definitely need O2 sensors. All right, today we're gonna be wrapping these headers. Stay tuned. Cash gonna help. Let's get it. Guys, so I got the one side wrapped. I left it so you can say ISR. I might end it up over here, put like another one, but I'm running out of clamps, so I don't know. I'm gonna do the other one and see what's up, and then, you know, continue. But I think came out pretty good. Not my best wrapping, but I'm getting there. You know, this is probably like my third time wrapping something like this. Well, something like this, first time. This thing wasn't crazy, so you can see over here. It's just nuts to try to get in there. Try it, knock it, whatever. All right, they're all done. They look pretty good. One came out better than the other. Practice, and you know, I made this one has 3 bows. This one has 2 bows. One over there. This one looks cleaner, but they both look good, so that's all that matters. So let's get it. Keep going. I'm gonna put another tie here, make it fresh. All right, guys. All right, so now I'm gonna mount only one side of the headers, and I'm gonna put the other one on over here, and I'm just gonna start the one so I can move it to see if I can get the both headers in that way, or if not, then I'm actually just gonna put the other side on just the one side on, and then we'll worry about getting the other header put in, because I measured them when they were together and it's way farther. So it opens up like right here. So if I get the one to come down this way, then I'll have some room over here to work on the other one, I guess. It's gonna be tight, but that's the only way I can get them in. So let's get it. All right, so got the headers on, torqued down and everything. Now I'm going to try to see where I can grab it from. But I'm also gonna put the motor mounts. I got the nuts off the old ones, so I can put the new ones on. The fresh new ones are right here somewhere. Right here. So, aluminum, solid joints. 2 of them. Let's figure out which side's up and which one's down. Actually, up is the ones that are thinner. Down is the fatter joints. 14 mils and 17 mils. So, let's get it. Got them suckers right on. And they fit really good. So, let's get it. Let's try to put this thing in the car. Today's video, we're going to be installing this bad boy. And we're going to be installing it just like this, because if you put the other headers on, it doesn't fit through the front here from side to side. So I torqued one side down, and now I'm gonna put the engine in with the one side where it's harder to mess with it. And then on the other side, I would just put on the headers on, torque them down. It'll be way easier than trying to, tie in two sides. So let's get it. So the engine's in, as you saw. It was pretty easy to install. Now with the solid mounts, doesn't barely move, or doesn't move. Now we're going to put the other side of the headers. You see we have all that room. We're gonna install that. This header came out nice, everything fit. I was getting a little worried that it wasn't gonna fit, but I proved myself wrong. I also gonna clean all this nastiness here. It's just something I do just in case the car comes back, and something's leaking, and where it's leaking from, kind of thing. But in this case, that's what we're doing. Let's get it. All right, so we got the other header in, the other side, torqued down. These bolts suck. I would recommend, if you were to do these, to just get the bolts started, all the nuts started when you're putting the manifold on, because if you don't, then you can't get some of them while you start tightening them. So make sure you put all those nuts in there while the manifold's loose. So now let's get it, continue with this build. We're gonna end up, we're gonna put the harness back in the car. I'm gonna start putting the accessories. We're gonna do a steering dry pulley, and then we're gonna start putting everything, like the transmission seal and all that. This guy just brought it over. His girl just brought it over. So yeah, we're gonna do the seal for the trans, and then the seal for the front crank, because we're replacing that. And we have to heat up this bolt because this thing is super tight. So let's get it. All right guys, so today I'm gonna be installing the transmission I'm also gonna be installing a seal on the oil pump on the transmission in the front, because the way they took this transmission now, it probably damaged that seal. So we're just gonna go ahead and replace that. So let's get it. All right, so I lifted the transmission up with this jack, and noticing that the pan's a little bent, but we should be okay. Looks like they put a jack underneath there. All right, so now we're gonna transfer it over here, tighten it down, and start replacing that seal. Let's get it. Sheet is on there on the transmission jack. Now we're gonna clean up in here and replace this seal here. It looks like it probably was leaking before too. So let's get it. All right, so this is the seal that we're gonna be putting into this car. That's the part number 31375-4AX02. Looks like the one in there, so we're gonna go ahead and pull that one out and put this one in. All right, to pull this seal out, I usually use one of these seal pullers, and all I have to do with this side in, go in here and pry it out, if it works. There you go, pop right out. So use this side, the skinny side, and that's our seal. Came out ripped because we ripped it. So now we're gonna put the new seal in, so stay tuned. All right, we got our new seal, beautiful. So we're just gonna grease the surrounding area, and we're gonna push it in here. So let's get that done. All right, so we're gonna put some grease on this, just so we can lube it up and it goes in pretty good. We're going in easier. We don't want no problems. So then we're just gonna sit it on here. So. Tap that seal in like that, slowly. Make sure it's going in all around the same. Slowly. Very careful. All right, so that's the seal. She's in. Now we're gonna put the transmission in. Oh, clean this up a little bit and then put the transmission in and get this going. Let's get it. Actually, at this point, you wanna put in your torque converter also, so let's do that. All right, so when you put this on, make sure you turn it slowly and you're gonna feel it click in. So that's how you put this on, this torque converter. And I cleaned up everything over here so we can put this in now and have a fresh transmission in there. I think his fluid's pretty dirty too, so see if he wants to get new fluids, get this thing on the road how it's supposed to be. Let's get it. Alright, I had to stop because we have a dial pin here and not here. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take that one out because we have one here and we have one there. So let's take that off real quick and then put it back up. So we put the bolts in there, tighten them all down. The kit that he gave me didn't bring all the bolts, but we got most of them in, so that's all I care about. There's one missing here, one here, and here, so there's 3 bolts missing. But but there's a lot. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 7 bolts around it already. So this thing takes like 9 bolts. It's crazy. But let's keep going. Let's put the starter on. And then the flywheel bolts, you can access them through here. So let's get those in. All right, today we're gonna be putting the exhaust on this bad boy. We'll continue to. I already put the white pipe on. So now we're gonna install the mid pipe, I guess it's called, and then the tailpipes. So let's get it. Nico's gonna help.
Yeah.
Let's get it. All right, so we put the mid pipe on. Now we're gonna be putting the tailpipes on, but supposedly his exhaust valves on here, so they made some brackets. He bought some brackets that bring down the exhaust a little bit. So these go right here. You unbolt this, and then they go between that and that. And I guess you put longer bolts if you need them, but we're gonna check them out. They're all rusted though. I don't know if I want to take those out. Let's see. All right, so they are long enough. They look like they're long enough. So with this things go, they go right on top, right there. And then this goes in from the bottom, up, just like that. And they space it out. Let's get it. Alright, so we put the exhaust on. Well, I put the exhaust on. And that's how it's looking. Looks good. Everything's straight. I put all the clamps on there. Everything looks legit. Oh yeah. Next we're gonna be draining all the fluids. Got the sensors, so we're gonna put those on too. Change the oil filter. And then be done with underneath. Move on to the top. Finish up the top. Let's get it. All right, well, this is draining. Check out the radiator. I don't think we can use this radiator because it doesn't have the transmission cooler slots as the other one did. This one has 2 nipples coming out, and that's where the cooler goes, but the other one doesn't have it. That one doesn't have it. All right, so I put the power steering pump. I did make the holes bigger on all these, like on this bolt right here and that bolt there, and then up here we dremelled it a little bit bigger, you can see, to make it fit, because we were running into that problem. Everything lines up good. It spins, freely. Everything's tight. So now we're gonna replace this, and we're gonna be like, oh, got it out. Now let's put this thing in there. Hey bro, we need a different belt, like an inch or 1.5 inches bigger than this one. I have it tensioned everything, and it's not fitting on here. So, all right, she's almost all back together. All we need is the adapters for the intakes here, but everything is looking good. We filled her up with trans fluid, power steering, oil, coolant. So we're just charging the battery now, and we're gonna be starting her up soon. Let's get it. All right, she's charged. Now we're gonna put her in and start the car. This is really cool stuff, guys. Let's get it. All right, so I just put the battery on, and we're gonna have Brandon, right? Brandon?
Yeah.
Brandon do the honors of starting his vehicle, and I know everything's gonna be good because I did it. So let's get it. She's dead. All right, let's charge this battery more. Second try. Still none. All right, so we're gonna try to jump the car. So he's gonna back up and we're gonna try to jump it now. Let's get it. Keep coming.
That way?
Yep, you're good, right? Keep coming that way. Keep coming. Now turn the wheel all the way this way. And then come forward, slide, and I'll tell you when to stop. Right there. All right, we got her hooked up. You gotta see if we can get her started. So. Pretty much sleeping. Nothing? Attempt number 2 failed. Let's see attempt number 3. So I cleaned up the ground and now we have power somehow. So check your grounds, guys. All right, third attempt.
That didn't sound good.
You did. Go ahead. Do it again. Try again. This should be sitting though. You try to give it gas and it don't stay on.
You want me to give it gas?
See if it's, yeah, try. Try to rev it. All right, so we got it running. About to go for a ride. First test drive on the Jeep. Move your seat up real quick. Ain't got no front seat, so we gotta hop in the back. There you go. Oh, your wing is not, secure. Got the VQ out here, VQ clan. One's boosted, one's NA. Twins, baby. You should get Angie one of these.